shut this off. All right, but I got to address this. We only have 11 minutes left, people. They're reporting tomorrow morning. No wonder it ran into the earnings. It's now I feel like we're being suckered again. All right, seriously, we got to address this because I'm going in now. I thought it was next Wednesday. It's tomorrow morning. So if you're going home long, Sedge, you are officially taking it into an earnings report. Please know what you're doing here. I am not buying more. I thought it was next week. I'm already in. I'm not buying anymore. And hopefully this thing busts out next week. So let me tell you what I'm in. The closest to expiration I have is I have March 1750 calls going in. And you know what? Now they're reporting earnings. Oh, no, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow morning. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. They're reporting tomorrow morning. I was about to buy more, thinking that this 17 breakout could get us 19 this week, but they're reporting tomorrow. But if they dip and rip tomorrow, we are through the looking glass, and we might have the Kardashian bottom meets the Andy Dufresne rally that I'm hoping for. But again, this stock has disappointed us consistently for 3 years now. At least now we're getting, now it's as low as it's been as in 3 years. This is still just trying to come out of the same pattern I've been waiting for since November 25th when I started buying it. So this is a long-term hold for me, and you see how it really hasn't done anything. I've lost on it. I have options expiring. I've sold calls against it. Now all I have is calls. I'm going into the number, and I'll just assume I'm going to be disappointed when the stock's back to 1250 tomorrow. But all I got now, and I'm going to unhedge. I don't want to be hedged going into the number because if it is good, I think we're going up another, at least $3 from here. The last thing I want to do is being hedged. So I have some unhedging to do right now. And again, this is not my go-to thing. I don't usually go into options, go into earnings reports owning options. It's actually the dumbest thing you could possibly do because the 3:59 p.m., the moments before a company reports earnings, the options are at their most expensive. So if anything, if you bought them last week and you did dollar cost average on some March 1750s with me at 90 cents, they're at 202, sell them. Take the 100% on 50% of them, and then you can't lose. So I'm going to sell some here. I'm going to sell some 1750s also. I'm going to try to sell them at $2 right now because I'm going to unwind something. I don't like going into earnings reports long much. If these were a little bit more liquid. By the way, don't want, I'm the offer at 203 and trying to get out. I don't want to hit the bid, but I'm just telling you, just historically speaking, going into an earnings report with options is a bad trade because you're overpaying generally. But we're out till March. We got 31 days. But the thing is, if the numbers are bad and this thing gets slaughtered, these are going to zero. So if this thing goes back to 1250, earnings are out, the volatility's gone, the premium's going to be come out of these are going to be down. These are going to be right back down to where we bought them, if not worse. So the closest I have is 1750s, and bang, somebody sold them at 2. Good job. I'm still going to own. I'm still going in. I'm going in long. I bought them at 90, 120, 150, $2, 250, 3, and 350. I actually topped this bad boy out back in the day. I bought some of these at four. Oh, damn. I bought some of these at $4.30. Damn. Yeah, I've been in this for a long time. So right now, I'm still, I'm making money, and I'm virtually flat because I bought some at $4.30, $4, 350, 3, yeah. So they're reporting. Just let me make this perfectly clear. I don't like going into earnings reports long stocks because it just always seems to backfire for me personally. So I got to do something about it by lightening up. That's it. I still like the name. I'll love it a lot more tomorrow if they gap it down. But anyway, if you guys know what I'm talking about, this is Sedge. I've been in the stock basically since the 1250 break way back in November. waiting for this monster breakout. It got upgraded this day, and look what it did since the upgrade. Went right back into the Andy Dufresne muck of garbage, and now it's finally popping its head out of the sewer pipe. So if it comes all the way out of the sewer, that would be the double top 19 and change. And I think if we can get that, we're going to go a lot higher, at least to $20, $21 right here. And if we get through 21, we could really rip. It's still a very shorted stock, but it's so dead that it's just if it comes back, it'll be awesome. So if you are just joining us, what's up? What's up, YouTube? Today was a clinic. Absolutely lit up the world today. Completely opposite of what I was doing on, whatever that day was, Thursday with TTD. Had a really bad day last week. And the reason I'm bringing that up is days like today, if you were trading with me, I'm your rock star, right? If you were trading step by step with me on Thursday, I rode you into ruin. No joke. I couldn't pull my head out of my ass. Getting crushed on SMCI somehow under $40. The stock's at 55. I don't know how I did that. Getting killed in TTD, going back to the worst trades. Everything else was ripping. But today we stayed focused on, the names that we like. Sedge obviously paid us a couple of times today, and actually I shorted it. Lunar, if you guys know, I still own this stock. And, today it was an epic day in the chat room because I like shorting stocks I own. So now, if that doesn't make any sense to you people that are in the chat room, this is how I began as a trader. I like shorting stocks that I own, right? What does that even mean? Like, why would short stock? How do you own something and still short it? Exactly. I own it over there in my kid's account or my wife's account, my long-term account. And then over here, the day trading. So instead of just sitting there watching my money disappear in my kid's account, I'll short the stock when the VWAP tells me to. 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal, got paid on a lunar short, and again, even the Sedge, because the stock's disappointed me so many times. This morning when it broke, when it was rallying, I was just looking for a reason to be disappointed because the stock continuously disappoints me. Here's where it broke VWAP. There it broke. It's what we call the inverse Kardashian. Butt cheeks, VWAP break, recent low, short it. Blue line to orange line is how we make a living here because the market's rigged and it goes from today's VWAP to prior day VWAP. And in this case, for the first time in what seems like a lifetime, this piece of shit stock finally held the prior day VWAP and now has rallied off it, which is super, super bullish. And the action that you're seeing here, look how they're trying to shake you out. But the VWAP's telling you, nah, the institution's got our back for the first time, and maybe there's something going on here. Again, I'm not going to get overly excited about this piece of garbage stock that's let me down for 3.5 years, waiting to see if it catches a bottom. We'll know more tomorrow morning. And if this stock's above 19, don't be afraid to buy it. Because if it breaks out, look at this 3-year chart. We've been waiting since November for this thing to finally come out of the bottom range. It's had its moments, but nothing. I'm talking about a Palantir turn. I want to see a Palantir turn where it comes out of the bottom range and rips 70, 80 points. I want to see a Carvana. I want to see a Carvana where it comes out of the Andy Dufresne to $4 and goes to 300. Can we get something like that? And I'm not even asking for it to go to 300. Just give me 20 points. Give me 10 points on this piece of garbage. I've been waiting since November. Can we finally get paid? Again, this is gambling. I don't know how they're going to report tomorrow, but I'll tell you what I am going to do. If they report and the stock is down, that gives us an opportunity to possibly buy more on a reversal. So, talking about reversals today, give me some of the names that we traded. Obviously, we traded Palantir because once it broke 122.50, we figured it was going to go to 125. 122.50 gets you 125. Look where it went. Not just 125, but 125 to the penny. Hit it, rolls. Why did it go to 125? Because the market's rigged. Rigged to price. Like I told you 3 weeks ago. The program's already in. If 80, then 120. How does it get there? That's part of the programming. Go to 100, get your 102.50. 102.50, get your 105, 105, all right. All right, chop around right here. And then when it breaks 120, what's it do? It goes to 122.50, 122.50, get you 125. Sometimes when stocks get to certain prices that are preordained or programmed, the seller is waiting up there. If 125, then sell 3 million shares, enter, and then it sets you up, right? The rug pull. But the rug pull, we're waiting for it. So when it broke VWAP, we were like, all right, it's pulling back. Let's not get overly, excited about it. But then it pivoted off the price it pivoted off earlier. And then this is where I said, hey, we got to short some Palantir because it couldn't hold the VWAP. And then it rolls over. So right there on that rollover, now you could short it with limited risk. And that's what day trading is all about. Trying to take some trades, limited risk. If I could risk $1 to make 2, risk 20 cents to make $1, risk 5 cents to make 50. That's what this is all about. And as we were shorting the Qs this morning, and I was telling people, hey, I can't believe it's actually working. Don't get excited. Don't get excited. Don't get excited. It lasted for an entire hour. Wow. You were actually able to stay short the market today for a whole hour. I was done when it got to blue line, orange line, blue line, orange line, blue line to the orange line. Oh, you bounce off there? No shit. Of course you do, because the market's rigged. Blue line to orange line. But in this case, it never got back over the blue. So that tells you that the bearish people, these profit takers from this massive move that we're in, showed up again. But look what it did. So now when a stock breaks the 1 day, you take a look at 2 days worth of VWAP. You didn't even get down there, right? And then you had this one moment, right, where the stock, whoop, whoop, and you're thinking, oh my God, what's that? Oh, there must be tariffs. Oh my God, China, Taiwan, Godzilla, something. I don't know what's happening. And as you're trying to figure out what that little tiny sell-off was, and it's over. So as the resident bear here, each morning I remind you that shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. It's not a viable way of making money in the market anymore. Shorting is done, except if you understand that it has to be short-lived. Shorting is short-lived. It's a very simple idea. You can make money as a shorter, but you can never stay short. And that's the wonderful part about being trapped in a perpetual bull market. Finally, after 30 years, it's dawned on me, hey, maybe I just have to accept the fact that we are really never, ever going down. And we never do. We get pullbacks, they're bought. We get sell-offs, they're bought. So in fact, we never really go down. We could have temporary moments, and today we milked this QQQ short to basically every penny you could get out of it. All the while telling you, again, and if you don't know what I do in this room, right? I am your head trader, right? So imagine sitting at the desk. I'm the head trader, just like 1997 through 2001 when I had my desk. Me, Corey, Todd, Robert, Ray. Across here we had Carl. I don't know what the fuck his name was. James. Some other loser over there. I forgot what his name was. But this was our desk. And we had an AOL chat room. That's right. That's how old we are. AOL chat room. And I would post the watch list like I do today. Fast forward 25 years later. I was basically the godfather or the grandfather of this industry now. AOL chat rooms, yes. Even before that, we had Nextels. We talked to each other on Nextels. Remember Nextels? Before that, we had headsets. And I would tell my guys, hey, look, I'm liking this sedge here at 1650. This guy would pipe in and we'd talk back and we'd create ideas. What was my point to that story? Oh, right. The market never goes down. That was my point. I've been doing this my whole life. And I did make some good money back in 2000 on that crash. Sort of did all right in 2009, but not really because I overstayed my welcome on the shorts. And the one thing I've learned is shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. So understanding that concept and then put that with the VWAP, and you understand that stocks don't stay down when they break over VWAP. So look, all afternoon, can't stay above it, can't stay above it. Confirming your short bias only to rip your fucking head off into the close. So the idea is you have to understand shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. You cannot stay short. You could trade it, but don't stay short. So going back to what I'm talking about, when I'm shorting stocks that I own, that's how I became a trader. Because every time I would sell one of the stocks that I owned, it would keep going up. I wouldn't buy it back. And all I'd do is bitch and moan about it for 18 months. I'd finally buy it back and then it would go down. So now instead of me selling the stocks that I like out of a portfolio or a swing trade account, I just short the shit out of them while they're weak. And that's what we do. And that's how we focus our attention. And that's how I understand that, yeah, shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. Just imagine SMCI, right? I was short the stock 4 days ago at 40, right? And I'm thinking I'm loving it. Remember when it couldn't hold 40 and then it rolled over? I thought I was onto something. I'm thinking, oh man, this thing's going back to 35, no problem. And then it turns, and then morons like me who don't want to give up on their short, they don't give up until they're forced to give up. And that is usually a lot more pain. And that pain is our gain. Because as a former president of the Shorting Association of America, I wasn't just a member, I was the president. I've learned the hard way. And lessons not taught in blood are soon forgotten. Right, Solid? Like it? I got the saying right. So what I'm saying is that, what I'm doing here for a living is how you can make a living. I might be the best day trader on the face of the planet. And it's not because I'm outsmarting anybody. I've taken all the awful experiences of my life for the last 30 years and basically wrote a book about it. And if you like that book, come to my website right now. It's called it's the 20 most common mistakes from every trader. And I'm not joking. Come to the website. I'll give you some free stuff. Speaking of free stuff, did anybody get the $10 gift card today? Did anybody have the closing price of the Qs correctly? We give out $10 iTunes cards. If iTunes is still a thing, I'm not even sure anymore. But I don't know who won today. And if you're the lucky person that won this iPad, oh, look at that. We give out iPads. Who does that? I teach you how to make money and I give you free shit. I got to get to the bank. I got to get to the post office. Actually, I got to go there now. So does anybody have anything specific to look at? Because I didn't even look at who's reporting earnings. Today's been just a freaking banger of a day. I haven't even looked. So here's how I plan my attack. So I look at who's reporting earnings tonight. I know who's reporting tomorrow, so I'm going to be all about Sedge. So, all right. A couple stocks I enjoy. Devon Energy. This one I've been trading my whole life, pretty much 20 years, 30 years of this stock. DVN, pretty intimately familiar with it. Let's take a look. A little popping and dropping. We'll get back to that one in a second. ANET, if you know Ariston Networks, monster company. Popping and dropping. I'll show you that in a second. And of course, Warren Buffett stock that everybody was talking about buying at 60. It's done nothing for 2 years. Congratulations. Congratulations. Remember that trade? Oxy? Oh, you got to buy it because Warren Buffett's buying it. And where's it done for the last 2 years? Let's see. So even Uncle Warren gets him wrong, right? So he's been accumulating the stock. He was accumulating the stock for over 2.5 years. It finally broke out only to crash. So let's give it up for Warren Buffett. Yeah, even he gets him wrong too, right? Not everybody. You can't get them all right. So Devon Bumblebee is also up there. BMBL. Getting smoked again. Starbuck, if you know SBLK, you might know that. Lazy Boy is interesting. Sometimes that gets involved in a short squeeze. I don't know why. True Car, guys remember that one? Ooh, Cybercock. What? Now, if you heard me correctly, the name of the company is not Cybercock. But I will explain why I named this stock Cybercock in a second. CYH. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. CYCH. You guys remember cyber something? Cybercash. It was the original PayPal. CYCH. When I was a broker, I was pitching a stock called Cybercash. You fucking prick. What is this snail dick bullshit? That's how old I am. I was pitching SanDisk IPO to this guy trying to explain to him what flash memory was. And he responded, "Click, you fucking prick. I don't give a shit about this snail dick bullshit. Film's going to be here forever." And so then when I pitched him Cybercash and I was explaining to him, oh, there it is, Cybercash. And I remember the day I tried to explain to him the internet. I was like, no, Joe, this is going to be big. We're going to be doing transactions on the internet. This company helps companies do their transactions on the internet. Click, you fucking prick. I'll rip your head off. What is this cyber cock bullshit you're giving me here? Meanwhile, I was giving him only winners, and he still would yell at me every day. He passed away not too long ago, but he's still my favorite, one of my favorite human beings ever. Guy was a Ferrari repairman. And, yeah, he used to remind me, "Click, you fucking prick. I make 30 grand a day fixing Ferraris. I don't need your bullshit. All right, what do you got for me?" He would rip me apart and then buy whatever I sold him. It was awesome. All right, anyway, so that's the story of Cybercash. So CYH has a special place in my heart. Plus, I used to own this stock. If you know cyber, this is CYH. It's a chain of old age homes, I think. I used to own this stock. It did very well. And then it crashed and hasn't really never recovered. But every once in a while, it wakes up. You see, $2, $6, $2, $5, $3. Yeah, maybe it wakes up. We'll keep an eye on it. Yes? All right, I got to go. So I just want to show you a couple of things. But more importantly, right now we're transitioning, not in a gay way. We're transitioning from one website to the other website, back to the other website. So while we're transitioning, you get free stuff. All you got to do is email Spencer or me or somebody. We will let you in. You could kick the tires, see what we're all about. And the idea is that if you hang with us and you get to know me and my partner Solid here, right? Again, not that kind of partner. I want to make you guys some money, so then you could kick it back to us, so then you could stay. So then I can make you more money, so you can kick some of that back to us, so I can make you more money. The only business model that I would ever get involved in, because I run this the way I want it to be run. Customers first, and I want to make you money. I'm the other guy, right? Let's see if some shady stockbroker will actually give you a couple of stock picks before he asks you for the commission. See, I'm that guy. I'm the other guy. I will give you the good winners, teach you how to make it, teach you how to make money, and then just ask you for some of it back. And that's the way it's going to stay, and that's the way it remains, and so far so good, because 30 years later, it seems to be working. All right? But what I want you to do is I'm going to just give you a couple. I want to show you what I'm going to do on the one I'm probably going to trade. It's all going to be about sedge tomorrow morning. So a lot of this stuff I'm not even going to be trading. But let me show you some of the ones. I do like Oxy, especially because it's sold off and got out of favor. So let's see if they reported yet. No, they haven't even reported yet. All right, so we got to wait for that one to come out. That's at 4:15. All right, we got a couple of minutes, so maybe we'll just wait. Let me just show you Toll Brothers. Nope, that's at 4:30 also. Bumblebee, BMBL. Now, this stock sucks, right? But I like it. You know why I like it? Because it sucks. Sucky stocks, when they come back, that's where you find winners, right? So this stock, obviously, awful, right? 3-year chart is why I usually look at 3 years worth of data, go on a weekly. There's a 3-year weekly. Freaking disgusting, right? Awful, just trending down, trying to Andy Dufresne, but you just lost it. So now this stock, BMBL, down another 20%. Chances are it's going to $5 and then zero. But tomorrow, we'll see if she puts in a fight. And right now, you know exactly where you're buying it. You're not buying it here, right? Because you got to wait to see if it hits, if it double bottoms and it breaks. You see where it broke down from? The bottom of this candle is the bottoms of these candles. So that's 721. That's 721. 721. Top of this candle, that's 711. Easy to remember, right? So tomorrow what you do is, right now, any reason you want to buy this stock? Absolutely not. But the catastrophes, just like I showed you in Humana, and I know TTD didn't work, right? Sometimes the catastrophes remain a catastrophe and there's just no buying. And if that's going to be Bumble tomorrow, then you just walk away. Hey, this one's not working out. Let's cut bait and don't go back to it like I did with TTD. I traded 30,000 shares of TTD on whatever day that was, Wednesday, and all 30,000 shares were a loss. Every trade I put on, even when I pulled that stock up on my screen, I wound up losing on other trades. That's how bad it was. But I just kept going back to the winner because I felt like I needed to conquer and make some of my money back on that name, where if I just would have left it alone and moved on to the better names, it would have been a much better day. Lesson learned. And even I, the king of all traders, make those same mistakes. So anyway, here, look. You see how it just kind of double bottomed? So that's important. So when you see that tomorrow, and again, I'm not a big fan of trading aftermarket. I'm just showing you how to set these trades up. So let's say that double bottom holds, and then it goes sideways, test it again for good measure, then you know you have your risk defined. So let's say it goes to 650, holds it, 650, holds it, comes back to 650, holds it, and then starts to lift off, and you're buying, let's say 675, you know you're risking only a quarter. And then the levels here, the 711 and the 721, if they get broken, then you look for the stock to get back to the 750 high right there, and then there's nothing left. So if you can rally from here, which is kind of doing, and break through the levels where it couldn't break before, that's your ass crack, right? And then you get the VWAP reversion trade, and you got a stock that's going from 650 back to 8, and that's pretty awesome, especially for you day traders, or us day traders. And so what I just demonstrated to you in 3 minutes, we do that on every stock that reported, right? So ANET will be in play tomorrow, right? Popping and dropping, ripping and rolling. You just match candles, and then tomorrow's VWAP will come into play, and it gives you a heads up of where you want to be. Devon Energy. All right, it's out. Now we can address it. So Devon Energy. Now you got some oomph. All right. So let's take a look. Hold on a second. First, I like to look where it's coming from. 3-year chart. 3-year chart kind of stinks on this stock. Wow, it really does. And the high watermark was around 38 and change, right? So now we go back to the day's chart. Looks like the numbers came out right here. Nah, but at 405, it looks like it came out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here was the real. So the first spike got you to 35.27. Bottom of the candle, 35, 35.80. Simple. Simple trade already, right? Where it broke from is this 35.30. It just came back to hold it. If it holds it and breaks back over those recent highs, so that's probably the 50 right here. Yeah, it's close enough, 35.47. So any consolidation in a lower channel breaks above it, you're a buyer. Tomorrow, if it's in these channels and breaks the bottom of this channel, you're going to revert back to whatever the VWAP is, assuming it was 35. And you see how the Bumble trade started to form? That's it. This whole game is about isolating risk reward. So here you go, right? So when you see a double bottom and it starts to lift off the double bottom, buyers get encouraged. Hey, I could buy this at 675 with 18 cents of risk, and now I can get paid and sell it at 711, and there's the 721. Right? Got to the 711. Here's the 721 because the market's rigged. It goes to revisit the same prices. There you go. 11. You got the 21. You got rejected by the 21 again. The 21 is now a pivot point. So there you go. Now you know exactly what you're going to do tomorrow. This thing comes back to those prices. You know you can define your risk. And tomorrow, now you got a triple reason to see this stock. It breaks 721. You're probably going to get a nice 40-cent move. And then if it breaks the 758 tomorrow, you're probably going to get a nice move to $8. And that's it. So you just continuously trade the stocks that report earnings. Why? More volume, more better. We're volume weighted average price traders, right? More volume, less risk because you have more activity. So there's less chance of a whipsaw move. You get more volume. It's just better to trade a stock. Less volume, there's more chances of rug pulls and weird manipulations. And also, I just want to throw a couple of symbols that just piqued my interest today. If you guys know about the CSAI, this stock is, again, just absolutely insane. I gave it to the room a couple of days ago, and we were joking around about it. This was a $50 IPO that crashed to $5, and then it made its turn. And we were saying, hey, in this type of market, if it can go 3 days and break out, you might go back to all-time highs. It's a 30-point candle the next day. So whatever you feel about the market being bearish or bullish, if you're bearish, you're wrong. Trust me, as the resident bear here, there ain't nothing bullish anywhere. I mean, bearish anywhere. If you want to pretend there's some skepticism out there, I don't even feel it. My dad's still bullish. He's my indicator. If my uncle gets involved, I told you this morning, when my uncle gets involved, that's when you get out of the market. But right now, everything's super bullish. And we're back to just trading stocks like Pony, Pony. It's some sort of AI truck. I don't even know. But these stocks are just coming out of the woodwork. Straza was all about this one. Phenomenal triple top break. If this stock doesn't get into the 20s, I'd be shocked. Consolidation breaks on new issues. 1850 usually isn't the place where it's just going to stop. You want to see something even more crazy? GCL, people. I got to leave you soon. GCL, I don't know what this is all about, but it's only been out a couple of days since the SPAC. It crashed out of the SPAC, and now it's back. Okay? So if this thing's broke, if I'm telling you right now, I don't usually like these names, but in this market, momentum is your best friend. You see GCL above 989 tomorrow, you're in. And then I got another one for you. You got Sedge is definitely on the menu, Pony on the menu, CSAI, I'm going to watch that now that it crashed. GCL on the menu. Here's one, STAI, another SPAC trade that came out of SPAC and crashed. You don't even see it because it came out of the SPAC at around 10. It went up for a day, crashed, went down to $1, made a massive turn. So this stock, anything above 335 is still bullish. It just closed around 350. Watch this one tomorrow, because if it breaks 441, I'll pay you to buy it. Only kidding. I won't pay you to buy it, and I'm not guaranteeing you this trade. But if it breaks 441 tomorrow, I'd be mortified if you don't see $5 on the stock. And again, new issue, brand new stock, never been into the fives. Stock gets into the fives. Keep an eye on this one for tomorrow also. So Sedge, you got your Lunar, by the way, put in some good work today. Sedge put in some great work. Numbers are coming out tomorrow. Some of these crazy ones coming out of these 2s and 5s and 10s. Lyft still loving the Lyft. What else? Obviously, Palantir got to 125. Thank you very much. We still own it. Never selling it. Even shorted it today. Played a nice pullback. Got paid. And here we are. All right. So today was a clinic. And if you want to see us in action, just reach out to my corporate overlords. You could reach out directly to me. Sometimes I don't respond right away. But get in touch with us. Get to know what we're doing. Absolutely lighten it up right now on all time frames. Day trading, swing trading, and owning stocks. And that's a hard thing to do, to try to be doing it all at once, but we do. All right? Y'all have a great afternoon, and I will see you in the morning. And don't forget, we're schmoozing. Probably going to have either my friends from Trade Zero going to come on. They're going to demo some software, or we're going to have the Almanac Trader, great friend of the family, the Hirsch, Mr. Jeff Hirsch. And we'll talk about seasonality going into, coming out of earnings season, coming in, end of March into April, the March-April trade. And here we are. A lot of different things happened today. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. We saw some blow-off tops, but the blow-off top has been nullified. Q's had a blow-off top, but we closed green, nullifies it. Palantir had a blow-off top moment this morning, closed green, nullified it. So even the bearish moments that we're seeing in stocks like NVIDIA, Palantir, and the Qs today, the end of the day is where it matters. So sure, we had some selling in NVIDIA, but you got some pop at the end of the day. Blow off top means new all-time highs, or recent highs. Generally, it's all-time highs, and they closed red. So Palantir was on the verge of a massive, massive blow off top. And what did it do? Screws the shorts again because the stock is going to 180, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. It's going to 250. It's going to do a 10-for-1 split. You got to be in this name. And every time it sells off, it comes roaring back and crushes shorts. That's the kind of stock you want to own. Late day strength tells you institutions are still buying. You want to be involved. Palantir, awesome. And Lunar, as a matter of fact, again, I don't like the fact that Kathy Wood says this is her favorite stock now. But, again, we got up to 2250 today finally. But the sellers are still waiting for us up there. Nice, decent short. I'm glad to see it stayed above 20 finally. And that's where we're at. So wish me luck. I'm going into Sedge earnings, long the stock. Sorry, long the options only. Never take stock into the earnings report because then you're exposed to more risk. All I got left is some 1750s for March and 1750s, or sorry, no, 20s for June, which I probably should have sold because I was back in the green on my June 20s. But I like the stock, so hopefully we're right. And I did sell a couple of contracts for good luck because usually when I'm completely out of the stock, that's when it will really make the big move. But hopefully we get a dip and rip tomorrow. If we get a dip and rip on Sedge, I'm putting in at least $250,000 into the name. What happened now? I'm talking about it. Believe me. I've been waiting over a year for this move. If Sedge is red tomorrow morning, I know that might not be good if you bought options today and you gambled. But if Sedge is red tomorrow and it goes green, if this piece of garbage has an earnings reversal tomorrow, I'm going all in. So I'm kind of hoping it's down, but not a complete disaster. Because if it does give us that little, again, you've seen it a million times. If you see it gap down and it gets bought, that's as bullish as it can be. So I don't mind if it's not above 19 tomorrow on a gap because gap ups are usually sold into. So if it gets hammered a little bit tomorrow morning and that dip gets bought, that solidifies my bullish stance, and I load up. So be here tomorrow early. I'll probably be rip roaring at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we'll have to trade the stock. And then if it does do what I hope it does, gap down, gets bought, goes green, breaks out, I might have to put on the biggest trade I've had on in years because that's how much I think the stock attacked on 10 points. And if I'm wrong, I just let it dissolve and go to zero. So I'm in the driver's seat on the stock. And again, let me just repeat. I don't own the stock. All I got left is 1750s for March, 20s for June. And like I said, I'm ready to load the boat. For instance, let's say the Junes, right? And again, I probably should have sold the Junes. But let's say we do get that dip tomorrow. I think these June 20s for, let's say, like $1.50, tasty. All right? I'll see you guys in the morning. Be good, my friends. And we'll go over all those earnings reports tomorrow. We'll go take a look at the Oxy again. Again, there's the sell-off on Oxy, so good. Again, you'll see. We're counter-trend traders, and then we get back into the trend. So the first trade is the fade. It's generally a counter-trend trade, but then we just go back to being trend traders with the VWAP. You'll see. And if you didn't understand some of the words or the vernacular I just used, or I talked a little bit too fast, get to know me. It'll all be slow motion, just like they say in sports. Eventually the ball comes real slow, and you're just waiting for it to crush it. All right. You like my pantomimes? That and much, much more. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later. Oh, I don't know how to shot it. See, I need a. Look at me. All right. I'll see you guys. Peace, brothers and sisters. All right, I would stay a little bit longer and watch these earnings reports come out, but if you guys want to circle back tonight, I'll be back. I just got some stuff to do in the house. I got guys here, and I'm cooking dinner for the contractors. I don't normally cook for the contractors. This guy's a good friend of mine. And on that note, yeah. So circle back here after 8. I'll probably just crunch those oxys, and I want to look at that. And I'm not joking around the Sedge trade. If Sedge sets up as a gap down earnings reversal tomorrow, I'm loading up. I'm talking about minimum 200 calls, 10,000 freaking shares, and I want to make all 7 freaking points. So, because if I'm right about this Sedge trade, and I hope I am right, finally, we're going to $27. And I want to make every damn one of these 8 points that I can. No, I'm going with a sesame crusted tuna with a brown rice quinoa side and a mixed vegetable medley, which is water chestnuts, some edamame, some broccoli crowns, and carrots. Fancy. Yeah. Yeah, and on that note, I got to get out of here. All right, y'all. It's very hard for me to pull away because I love talking about this stuff. All right. I'll be back later tonight. See you guys after 8. Later.